area directors, dignitaries, club officers, and fellow Toastmasters. A very warm welcome to the first program from the Club Growth Team of District 127. My name is Shamla Shankar, your Sergeant at Arms for this great evening of making learning an enjoyable journey. As children, we always enjoyed playing. In a school, teachers found the children loved the playground. They loved the playground. They found a very unique way to incorporate learning in the playground. Spelling was taught while the children were jumping rope. Teamwork was taught through games of soccer. Today, we will explore the journey of initiating a club. So let's begin with the mission of Toastmasters International to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. What does TMI stands for? What are the four pillar core values? The acronym is RISE. R for respect, I for integrity, S for service, and E for excellence. So we have a few basic house rules. May I request all of you to please keep your mobiles in silence mode or flight mode throughout the meeting. But keep your ears open to learn the process of how to start a club. To respect the sentiments of this region, please refrain from speaking the three taboo topics: sex, religion, and politics. You know where the washrooms are, so you can make use of the washrooms. So without further delay, please help me welcome with a huge round of applause our Club Growth Director, Dr. Abdul Sattar, DTM, to take the proceedings forward. Dr. Sattar, the screen is yours.
Thank you very much, Shamla. Good evening to each and everyone. Respected district leaders, division directors, area directors, Club XCOM, the Toastmasters, and guests. Good evening once again, and welcome to the first event of District 105 Club Growth Team. We are going to tell you how to form a new club. When I first tried to start a club, I found it very difficult because whoever I referred to, they said that starting a club is lots of documentation, lots of process involved, lots of long waiting, and phone calls to Toastmaster International, US, lots of emails, and then finally the club gets chartered. Actually, when I went and did that, I had the same experience almost. But over a period of time, when I formed few other clubs, I came to know there are simpler ways. There are easier ways. There are ways to speed up things. There are ways to simplify. Not just that, there are lots of people to help you. It's not you alone or me alone. Today, we are all here together to teach and learn how we can start a new club easier and faster. And also we'll try to make you understand how to do the documentation and also how to run a quality club once it is formed. It is not just that you form the club and we disappear. We'll be there with you from day one till your club becomes successful. This is the promise from the Club Growth Team. My dear Toastmasters, all of you are welcome to this event. Let's move on to the next who will take this meeting forward. That is none other than the pillar of last year's Division I. She was the last year Division I director. She was the Area 21 director. She is a doctor. She is a mother. She is a Toastmaster. She is a humorous speaker. She is everything in one small package. She is none other than DTM Dr. Muniba Ali. Please give a big round of applause and welcome onto the stage.
Thank you, DTM Dr. Abdul Sattar, for that warm and wonderful welcome. Thank you so much. Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters. I can't say fellow Toastmasters without a smile on, because my son used the term fellow Toastmasters as his laptop password. And I found it very amusing. As a doctor personally, when I joined Toastmasters, it was not for improving my public speaking skills. And sure, it was not about networking to increase my patient base. I joined to have a good time, but I ended up having a better me. Over the years, though many changes have occurred in my life, somehow I'm a passionate Toastmaster. And the password selection by my son made me realize how dear Toastmaster mean to me. In one word, if I could say something about my club, it would be friends. Friends who tend to become your family. Have you wondered, you could be a reason to create more of such positive and peaceful havens like a Toastmaster Club? Today evening, the master chefs of Club Growth team of District 1 to 7 is here to help you discover the secret sauce of starting a club. As said by the poster, some witty tips on naming your club, recruiting members like a magnet, and crafting meetings that will make the room crackle with excitement. And I'm honored to being assigned the duty of escorting the trendsetters, the magicians, who are going to enlighten you about it more. And the curtain riser of this workshop is the leads and needs of how to start a Toastmaster club. For that, I have not one, but two talented Toastmasters who are going to grab your attention, a she and a he. She has a background in banking around 15 years, and she's an entrepreneur. Her passion for helping families with children who have special needs led her to create a platform, I Can. She's committed to help families of people of determination. And there's more. She is living her childhood dream of being a pilot, soaring the skies like a bird. Yes, a pilot. And she believes all this experience have taught her the value of hard work, determination, and perseverance. And she's dedicated to make a positive impact on the world around her. She's a member of ACIT Marine and SSY Club. And with 3 years into Toastmasters, she's already reached up to the DTAC for International Speech Contest, soaring high there too. A pilot with a banking background who has taken an oath to help people of determination by starting a venture, I Can. A big round of applause to the fabulous flying fairy, Toastmaster Banasri Banerjee.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And along with her, we have our workshop coordinator. He's a mechanical engineer by profession and a soft skill trainer by passion. He's a yes man, and I like it. And he says that's his blessing when it comes to forming relationships and tackling challenges in his life. According to him, Toastmaster is a platform where he could connect with people and learn from the best. No wonder he's the president of Top Masters and VPM of Carpe Diem Sharjah Club. And he's been into Toastmasters since 2016. That's 7 years. Do you know one thing? In 7 years, each and every cell is replaced in your body. So here's an engineer who has technically infused his cells with Toastmasters. A big round of applause to a brilliant, beloved brainiac, king of geeks, Toastmaster Harvey. Hadi, I think you're mute.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, we are going to have a wonderful session here about leads and needs. And thank you, our MC and the Extension Chair, for having a wonderful introduction of my team. Good evening, audience. Good evening, everyone.
Good
Today,
evening, everyone.
we are going to
Good
have an
evening.
interesting conversation between a seasoned Toastmaster, Banashri Banerjee, and a senior Toastmaster, DTM Dr. Abdul Sattar. Banashri has experienced significant positive changes in her life through Toastmasters, and DTM Dr. Abdul Sattar sees a huge potential in Banashri to help others benefit from the experience of Toastmasters by starting a new Toastmasters club. My audience, my fellow Toastmasters, before we join their interesting conversation, may I request you to watch for the questions that's going to appear on the screen. Our DTM Lorraine, who is the moderator, will be posting the questions on the meeting chat, and we will look at your answers and come back to you later. For now, let's join Banashri and DTM Dr. Abdul Sattar in their conversation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hadi. Hi, Banasri. How are things going on in life? Congratulations on achieving your pathway milestones and excelling in a contest.
Thank you, DTM Sattar. Yes, it's been an amazing year so far for me. And life has been wonderful.
Did Toastmasters positively change your life?
Yes, absolutely. Toastmaster has transformed my personal, my professional life absolutely from 0 to 10 right now. And I'm a much different person now. As if you have seen me 3 years back, I don't know whether you have seen me. I was a shy person. I used to just shuffle my legs and run away. But look at me now. I'm in front of you.
Wow. So how many people's lives have you changed over time?
Honestly speaking, I think I have changed many. I have been able to bring many couple of my friends and colleagues to club meetings, and most of them have become members now. And you know what? The best part is they have started calling their friends. So that means they too are transforming others' lives.
That's wonderful, Banasri. You are a natural leader. You are able to change not just your life, your friend's life too. Have you ever thought of going bigger and changing more lives than just a handful of people that you have done till now?
Yes, but how can I do that?
So the one way is, instead of just sticking onto your club, is to start a new club.
New club? That sounds like a long and a tiring process. How am I going to do that? How would I find those people who are actually interested? And moreover, what's the process?
No, I agree with you. It's for many people, it has the same concern, but it's actually easier than we all think. Moreover, when you do that process, you won't be alone. We have a team to help you. Once you have certain interested people gather together to start a club.
Really? With some help? Even I might be able to start a new club? I have some people actually approaching whenever they see my social media post on about Toastmasters and the club meetings that I post, and they keep on messaging me asking about what is Toastmaster, things like that. So, but tell me, how will I understand what exactly are they looking for?
Come on, Banasri. Unless we ask, we never know. A good starting point is to check if there are clubs available in their neighborhood. Many people stop attending meetings just because the distance that they have to travel. We cannot always find dedicated Toastmasters traveling long distances to attend a meeting. If you find a group of interested individuals, why not start a community club closer to them?
But that makes sense. In fact, there are many stay-at-home moms, and there are others who would benefit from Toastmasters, but may not know about it at all.
Exactly. As a leader, it is our responsibility to spread the word to the world and help others to grow.
That's great, actually. But do we need many members to start a club? How can we convince everyone to join at the same time?
Don't worry about that at all. All you need is just 20 members to start a club. And once we conduct an interesting demo meeting, that will convince everyone to join.
And what about all this? I hear about club sponsor and all. What are those? I mean,
Don't
I
worry about
really
that.
didn't know that. Actually, I really didn't know that. But won't it be really challenging for all of you to start just a club like this?
No, not at all. Once you finalize the number of members who's interested in joining, we will look out for sponsors.
Okay, but I didn't know. I mean, how can the club sponsor handle all the responsibilities alone?
And some people usually think the club sponsor is about paying money for the club. Not at all. A club sponsor is an individual who actually assists in the formation of the club.
Okay, I was just thinking, I mean, that's really reassuring. And what about the cost? Is it a huge amount to start a new club?
Now, before we go to the cost, it's not just the club sponsors. They don't do it alone. You know that? The Toastmasters are a big team, and we'll provide all the support of the seasoned Toastmasters and mentors to help them start it and stay on track. And the cost part, when you ask me, the cost is less than $1,500. You can start a club, which includes a one-time club charter fee of $125 and one-time new member fee of $20 for each member and a $45 fee of half-yearly membership fee for each member until the end of September.
Oh, that's reasonable considering the benefits of Toastmasters. Actually, in my organization, I mean, they would love to start a club, and I would definitely can see the benefit that they're going to reap out of it.
You can definitely start a club in your organization, which is called a corporate club. And we can help you present the idea to your team and conduct demo meetings to showcase the benefits of Toastmasters Club.
Oh, I never knew I could make such a positive impact on people around me, and definitely on my organization. This sounds really amazing.
It surely is. We have a dedicated team in the club growth. It's called as a club extension team who will guide you, and do get in touch with this team if you ever want to start a club.
Oh, I never knew I could really do this. Okay, wonderful. So, where is that team? Can I meet them?
They are here. Let me introduce you to them. We have the club extension chair, the assistant club growth director. It is none other than Dr. Muniba Ali, and she will be the one who will guide you through the process of forming a club as a club extension chair. Over to you, Dr. Muniba.
Thank you, DTM Dr. Abdul Sattar. Thank you, Toastmaster Hadi and Toastmaster Banasri. I've always closely worked with our CGD DTM Dr. Abdul Sattar and empowering leader, and I'm happy, honored, and humble to be the Assistant Club Growth Director and Extension Chair for District 127. So nobody is better off alone, and that's why I have a team, the Club Growth Extension Team. My team consists of the Wonder Woman Toastmaster Shyamala and Toastmaster Nida, the man who does magic with Arabic, Toastmaster Naseem, and the Superman, Toastmaster Abraham and Toastmaster Ekjot. We are here to assist you in building a club and making a positive difference in the lives of others. Let's work together. Talented Toastmasters like Toastmaster Banasri who wish to start a club, Toastmasters who have already planned to start a club or in the process of starting a club, any help with new clubs, the name, the fame, the game, contact me or my team You can reach me out by scanning the QR code or using the link shared in the chat window. Thank you, and over to you. You're muted, Hadi.
Thank you, our Extension Chair for the CGD DTM, Dr. Muniba Ali. And we heard the conversation between Banishri and Dr. DTM Abdul Sattar. And you might be thinking about starting a new club or helping someone to start a club now. Yes, your answers for the questions you have is there with the CGD team. Contact our CGD team to know more about starting a club. We will help you with that. And now I would like to thank DTM Lorraine for helping us with questions. Now we have an engaging session coming up. Now, Dr. Muniba, she's MC also today, will introduce the next speaker for our session. Thank you. Over to you, DTM, Dr. Muniba.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Hadi. Thank you, Toastmaster Banistri, Toastmaster Hadi, and DTM Dr. Abdul Sattar for that captivating and candid show. A big round of applause. We are done with the leads, the needs for a new club. And now it's time for knowing the chartering process. And for this session on chartering process, let me special. This performance specialist believes that the world will be a better place if everyone gets better at what they do and have more fun. A friendly girl next door, passionate Toastmaster. Toastmasters is family. DSO Toastmasters is a home club, and over 6 years as a Toastmaster, she has taken on multiple leadership roles from club to the district level. She is the immediate director, and she has started 3 clubs under her tenure. She is my Toastmaster buddy. We have been area directors together under Division B and division directors together under District 105 the last year, and DTMs almost the same year, and now together in the CGD team. Always riding side by side along, and it's time we switch to RR, isn't it? A big round of applause for the lively, lovely, bubbly bundle of energy, DTM Pragnaya.
Thank you so much, DTM Muniba Ali, for that wonderful introduction. How is everybody doing today? Now, I'm sure the conversation between our wonderful Banishri and our Dr. Sattar has got some juices flowing in terms of, okay, now we can actually do things and it's not looking as impossible as it used to, right? Now, my role here is very simple. I'm going to talk to you about the most boring part of the entire chartering process. Well, the process itself. But I will do my best not to put you off to sleep and will make sure you get the absolute necessary details only, and I will not bore you with every single field in each form. Is that okay? Awesome. Great. Right. I hope I have permission to share my screen. I'm going to take you through a growing presentation. Cool. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Thank you. So today we'll be covering a couple of aspects in our presentation. First off, we'll be looking at what is the process of chartering the club and a couple of things to watch out for in this entire process. Okay. Now, what is the process all about? Well, now, once we have done the demo meeting, we have all the necessary bits in place. We have the interest, and we want to actually charter the club. All it takes is 3 simple things: a couple of forms to be filled, decide how to make the payment, and an email to be sent from our side. As simple as that. It cannot get simpler. Now, let's look at each of these things one by one. First, the forms. Now, can anyone tell me how many forms are there that you need to fill to charter a club? You can let me know in the chat box. How many forms are there that you need to fill? Okay, only one person knows the answer. What about the others? Any guesses? Have a random guess. Okay, 15, 7, 10, 2, all right, 6. Very good, interesting answers. But I guess our wonderful moderator for today knew the answer before, right? So he's cheating. Yes, there are 7 forms for us to fill. Huh? 7? Yes, 7, but very simple forms. Don't break your head too much about them. And I will take you through each of those forms and just tell you the overview of what it is that you need to actually fill. Okay, now the first form is the application to organize. This is the very basic form where you have to provide the contact information for the club, specific details about the payments, the type of the club you're starting, and who the mentor and sponsors are. Now, in our earlier conversation, we did hear about what these mentors and sponsors need to do for the club, right? But this is where you actually inform TMI about who they are. Now, the first part of this form basically looks something like this. Okay, it's a lot of fields, but simple things that you need to fill in are this particular field where it says you give permission to TMI to list your club on the website. So if anybody in Dubai or UAE or anywhere in the world are looking for a particular club with the name or a locality, you can actually get found on the Toastmasters website. So you just say yes or no if that's okay for you. Then, of course, sign and provide the details of the person who is coordinating for this club. This person does not have to be the president of the club, though it could be, or it could be any person who is taking in charge or who is the person responsible for chartering the club. In case of a corporate club, for example, it could be the CEO of the company or the HR manager or the L&D manager, whoever has initiated this entire club process itself. Or it could very well be an area director or any single one of you when you start a club. So basic information of your address, phone number, email, and that's about what you have to provide. Cool? Right. The next bit is about the payment. Now, before I get into this here, there is an entire form dedicated to payments alone, which is the form 2. So you can actually leave this section blank as is and just fill the entire details in the form 2. So we'll talk more about this when we come to the second form. All right. Now, about this, how many, all of you are part of some Toastmasters club, yes? Yeah, okay. What type of club is yours? Is it a community club? Is it a corporate or a company club? Is it an advanced club? Is it a college or a university? These are the usual ones that we have around our region here. What type of club is yours? Community? Yes. See, a lot of them have here from a community club. Awesome. Okay. So I get, but we do have people who are, we do have advanced clubs. We do have multilingual clubs. We have corporate clubs as well in our thing. So whatever is the club that you're trying to start, you just check that box. As simple as that. Okay. Next, here is where you fill in the mentor and sponsor details. Now, every club can have up to 2 existing clubs being their sponsoring clubs. For instance, I'm a member of DSO Toastmasters Club. And if any member of our club has actually gone ahead and started another club, DSO has become the sponsoring club of the new club, right? So in this sense, we have chartered, or we have been the sponsoring clubs of clubs like IMT Dubai Toastmasters Club or SP Gen Toastmasters Club or UAE Ladies Toastmasters Club and various other clubs like that. So whatever is the club that your club is actually supporting, then you can actually give your club some credit for it as well. Just enter your club number here. That's all. Now, you need to identify at least or maximum of 2 club sponsors. So you just need their name and their member numbers or member IDs, because the sponsor has to be an existing member. Okay. Likewise with the Toastmaster mentor of the club. So you just need their name and member number. This is all that goes into the first form. Very simple. Yes. Just some club information, just some details about who is the person organizing it and the club sponsor and mentor details. That's form 1 for you. Now, let's look at form 2. Now, this is the payment related form. Of all the 7 forms, this one is probably the most important one. Get this one correct and all the other ones can actually be, if you make mistakes, that's okay. But this is the one that is going to be the most important for you. So all you need to fill here is, of course, the club information, the details, the signatories and payments. Let's look at these in detail as well. Okay, so club information. First off, decide your club name. Yeah, whatever is your fancy name that you come up with, a simple thing to do is to check on a Toastmasters website that such a club already does not exist somewhere else in the world, and you can give your name to the club. If it is a corporate club, very well you could name it after the company itself, right? For instance, we had Etisalat Toastmasters Club. What is it about? Who are the members? Employees of Etisalat, yeah, the company. So simple things like that. So you can just name it the company name or get super creative and go from Asit Marina Toastmasters or Friends of Yoga Toastmasters, Dubai Eagles Toastmasters, whatever it is, you can get fancy as long as the name is not already taken. Cool. Then, now this part is where we pay the most attention to, because this is where we are going to make the payments. The first fee that is included is the charter fee of US dollars 125. Okay, now if you could fill this part in the form 1 like I showed you, but if you didn't, just do it here. It's much more simpler to do. Right, so mention 125 in this first field. The second field would be how many members are you adding? Now, like in the previous discussion, we heard that you need to have at least 17 new members, and up to 3 members can be dual members or members who are already Toastmasters in other clubs. Yeah. So how many members are new, brand new, because they need to pay a one-time registration fee of $20. Okay, this is just a one-time lifetime fee. And you would need to fill in the number of people who are in this club and multiply that by 20 and fill in that last bit of detail in that column. Okay. Then, of course, you could have dual members, reinstated members, or members who are transferring their membership from another club to this club. Then mention their numbers here. You do not need to pay any additional fees for such members, but you can have up to maximum of 3 in case of corporate or community clubs. But if it is an advanced club, well, you could have all 20 of them be dual members, if that is a condition for the advanced club. Are you with me so far, all of you? Yes?
Yes.
Awesome. Cool. Now, the next bit that we have to take care of is to figure out the number of the total, right? So far we had 2 fields up here. So the total of that is what you would fill here. And then the total number of payments or the total number of members you're adding. I know 20 is the number that is minimum, but sometimes clubs decide to just start off the club itself with 25 or 30 members also. We have seen people do that, and that's absolutely fine. So you can mention the number of members here. And for those clubs who are chartering before September 30th, you will be paying US dollars 45 per member as the membership fee for Toastmasters International for a period of 6 months. But after September, if you're chartering a club, this fee goes up to 60 US dollars per member. All right. So for anybody who is on the fence of should I start a club, do it now. You're actually saving $15 per member for the club. Okay. Now, so all of this will lead you to simply get a total number of the amount that you need to pay. As simple as that. All right. Now, can somebody do a very quick math here and tell me, if we are chartering a club with 20 new members, what would be the fees that we will end up paying? And if we are chartering them for 6 months only? Very quick. Who is the fastest math wizard here? $1,500? Okay. All right, does somebody want to like unmute and then share? That's okay too. Nobody? $734 US. Okay, they're very specific. 125, yes. Rauf, yes, 125 is the first one. Yeah, the first line itself. $125 is for the club charter fees. You also have to pay for additional 20 members. So what does the 20 members come up to? Okay, 1,300. All right, very cool. Now, I'll give you the numbers and you can tell me if the numbers on the chat box are right or wrong, okay? So if for a club, 125, that is given. Now, 20 new members, you need to pay a registration fee of $20 and $45 per member. Technically, since all of them are new members, you'll end up paying $65 per member. So that's 65 into 20 plus 125. With me, everybody? Yes, who got the number right? Yes, Hari, 125 plus 20 into 20 plus 45 into 20. Perfect, 1,425. That's the number. Okay, that's US dollars, by the way, not dirhams. Okay, so all payments to Toastmasters International has to be in US dollars. All right, so that's the payment details that we need to fill in the form 2. And one important point to note is the first form could have been signed by anybody, even the coordinator or the person who is starting the club. But this form needs to be signed by the president and the secretary of the club. These need to be identified upfront when you're chartering the club. So these two signatures have to be on the form. Okay. Then the most important thing, now we decided we have to pay $1,425, but how do we pay it? Okay. Toastmasters has a few options for us to do it. The basic one is to post them a check or a money order, but it will take forever to reach from UAE to them for that to be processed. The simplest way to do it is a credit card. Okay, you'll just have to fill in the information here. And by the way, there is absolutely no need to be worried about the entire process because this is very safe and every single transaction has been thoroughly encrypted and your card will not be under any threat. Okay, so you will need to put in your credit card details here and you can pay. Now, I understand some of you are skeptical about credit cards and like, I don't believe in giving my card number out, or you don't have somebody who can pay $1,425 or the amounts of that sort to the club. Then you could do what is called as a wire transfer. We'll talk about more about this slowly. But if you are doing a wire transfer, you would just write here wire transfer and there will be an additional form that you can attach. Okay, with me everyone? Yes, this is the most important form. That is why I'm spending a little bit more time on this. Okay, so that's our second form, charter payments. Now form 3 is the charter member application. Very simple. You need 20 members to start a club. You need 20 forms. Okay, every member, even when you joined the club, you would have signed one form, if you remember, right? The basic information that you need to share is, of course, your name, your first name, second name, first name, last name, middle name, whatever. If you are already a previous member or you're a new member, or you could be dual, you could be transferring your membership from one club to another, whatever, just specify it in this form. And of course, your mobile number and your email address. Why email address? Because everything we do in Toastmasters International is connected to this email ID that we are giving to them, and this will become our login. Okay. Now, and of course, there has to be a signature at the end of in the form. It's on the page 2 of the form, and all you have to do is sign there with the date. Now, technically, you would need to have 20 physical forms signed and kept with the secretary of the club for bookkeeping. However, when emailing all this information to Toastmasters International, it is very simple. If you can just put this information in an Excel sheet, send 20 names or how many ever members you're adding, their names, their email IDs, phone numbers, and city, and you can just email that in an Excel sheet, and that's more than enough as well. Okay, so that's form 3, very simple. And form 4 is the easiest of all. Now, all of us are Toastmasters. We know what an executive committee for the club is, correct? So this form is all about who the executive committee will be for the club. Okay, so you will have to fill in the name, the email address, and member number if you already know the member number for any of those members. But if they're all new, don't worry about it. Okay, so you need to have at least bare minimum the president, any one of the vice presidents, that is either the vice president education, membership, or PR, and a secretary. Okay, so these are mandatory office positions that have to be filled, and a final signature by the president of the club on this form. Also indicate whether the club officers are elected for the entire year or for 6 months. That's up to each club to decide. Okay, I know it's sounding like too much information already, isn't it? Well, it's very quick and very short, so don't worry about it. So form 5 is basically the club information and the sponsoring organization information. So club information is very simple. This is where you will actually give your club the final name that it wants and the contact details of the club. So whose number are you putting? It could be the vice president membership or the president itself, their phone number, email address, and a website that you have. You could mention here all the meeting details. When is the club meeting? Where are they meeting? And what are the time of the meetings? Okay. Then, of course, select the type of the club and select if that it's an organization that is paying for the members or members are paying by themselves, and select the language of the club. You could start a club in any language mentioned in the list or one not in that list also. Okay. And of course, decide if it's only for close people or employees of a certain organization or for everybody. Now, this is again, if some company is paying for all the members' fee, given the company details here. The last two forms are very quick. I'm going to run through them. The first one is the club constitution. Here, it's technically just a signature of the president and the secretary and the name of the club that needs to be filled in here. That's about it. There's nothing you need to fill in here. And you'll have to fill in the start of the club. So if you want to start the club as the first of, say, for example, we are in July now, and you want to start the club on 1st of August, you would fill that date here. Okay. This form basically talks us through all the rules of the club. It will tell us all the club constitution, the way the club functions and all that. Please read through it at your own pace. And the final form is an addendum to this previous constitution form. So here is any extra changes that you want to make customized to your club. That is what will happen here in this form. Okay, it's very simple. You don't have to change anything if you're just starting a club like any other club. But if it's anything custom requirements for the club, they have to be filled in here. All right, cool. Now we'll talk about very quickly. I know I'm running a little bit late on time, but very quickly on the payment types. So two things, like I told you, you can do the credit card, very safe, nothing to worry about. And of course, a wire transfer. If you're doing a wire transfer, all the details are shared on the website as well as on this form, the SWIFT code and all of that. You can initiate the number, fill in this form separately because it helps TMI to collect correctly. Give in your membership details and fill in amount for every single member that you are filling, and put in your SWIFT code or the transfer instruction, any identification number that you have made the transfer. That's all that it takes. Now, in certain cases of corporate companies, they would be using some kind of a vendor management portal, for example, SAP Ariba. In that case, they will need to have a registration on the Ariba portal as well. Don't worry about this. If you initiate an email to Toastmasters International, they will talk to the company and sort it out. So we would not need to get involved in this entire process. Okay, I told you, you've filled the forms, you've given the payment details. Now all you have to do is send an email to newclubs@toastmasters.org. And that's all there is to this process. Okay, you send an email within 2 to 4 weeks, you will receive a reply if your forms are correct. If the payment, if you've given a credit card information and your member details are all there, your club details are all there, it will take you as little as 2 weeks for the club to be chartered. And once it is chartered, you will see it reflected on the Toastmaster dashboard. All the members will receive welcome emails saying, welcome to Toastmasters, here is your login details. And within a month or two, they will actually receive a physical member club charter kit as well, which will include a few essentials for the club, including the very, very powerful gavel of the club. Cool. And that's what we would all love to have in our hands once we charter the club. So a couple of quick pointers for us to be careful about is to make sure that all the information, especially for the members and the payment, is actually included there, and the correct signatory. Sometimes we have seen the coordinator sign different forms and it will not be accepted. The president is the right person to sign all single forms. President and secretary need to sign on a couple of forms as indicated earlier. Okay, and miscalculations of payments is a big challenge, and these are usually things that take time, or we have heard of situations where, oh, it took so long for the club to charter, or there was something wrong with the forms. These are usually what the potholes are. Okay, so make sure you have done the payment calculations correctly and you're all set to go. It's as simple as that. All right, so it's just 3 things: fill those forms, get your payment calculated, and send an email to who was paying attention. Somebody type that email in the chat box. Nobody knows it? Nobody was paying attention? What was the email ID? newclubs@toastmasters.org. Very well. That shows some of you at least were paying attention. Brilliant. Thank you, everybody. I hope I made this process simpler than it actually is. So, and I'm open here for any questions, and we'll answer that towards the end at the question answer round. Thank you so much. Over to you, Dr. Muniba.
Thank you. Thank you, DTM Pragnya. That was like a mystery solved. The club has been chartered. What's next? Achieving club excellence. And for this session on attaining and maintaining club excellence, I have someone exquisite to explain. She's a Canadian living in Dubai, a wise woman from the West. I can't hold on much longer. Madam Toastmaster Paddy Kennedy. She first joined Toastmasters in the late 1990s. Her mom was a Toastmaster in the days when women were not allowed to join the organization. And like many women in those days, Paddy's mom joined use her initials only. Coach to 5 international presidents and many international directors. Hold your thought right there. Yet, instead of being in the White House, she is here with us in Dubai as the VPPR for Be Bold for Change Club and a part of CGD team. When I read her CV, my first reaction was, is she a Toastmaster from the 5th dimension? Please give a big round of applause for our intriguing, intelligent, and inspiring Madam Toastmaster Paddy Kennedy. Over to you, Toastmaster Paddy Kennedy. I think you're muted.
Thank you very much again, Dr. Muniba, for that introduction. And I wonder, please, if I could have the ability to share. Here we are. Thank you very, very much. So we've talked so far. First of all, let me say, dear fellow Toastmasters and our esteemed Club Growth Director, Dr. Sattar, and all of you who are here this evening, those of us on the team, all the club executives and members who have taken time out of your Saturday evening to be with us this evening. You know, for me, and I'm sure many of you feel this, it's a great honor to be part of a brand new district and to have this job, excuse me, of developing this district into the very best it can be. I understand that there are 128 districts right now in the world. I remember the days when there were less than 100. So we are really growing, and this is the goal of Toastmasters. So we've talked so far about leads and how to get leads and how easy it is really to get people interested to start a new club. And I don't think our last presenter, I don't think that was a boring presentation at all. As a matter of fact, I learned a fair bit in that presentation about how do we charter clubs. So now we have the clubs, we got the leads, we've started the new clubs, and now we come to what I think is just such an important part of the Toastmasters experience. And all of us on this call who are leaders, it's really up to us to focus now on club excellence. How do we attain excellence and how do we maintain that excellence? And that's what I want to talk about this evening. So I always start with the Toastmasters strategic plan. And I have to tell you that I am always shocked that people don't know the strategic plan. I think that all of us need to know, particularly at the district level, the first 2 points of the global organization's plan, which is club excellence and member achievement. Now, we can let awareness and engagement and operational effectiveness, we can let the higher up leaders, the regional advisors, the international directors, the executive committee, the president, and headquarters deal with that. But I want every club president in this district and everyone between the district director down to the club presidents and the executive committees of the clubs to understand that our mandate is club excellence and member achievement. And as I said, wherever I go in the world and I talk to, whether it be a club president or even people on the district teams, they are not aware of the strategic plan. So I want us all to get in the same boat as Toastmasters International, and as they say, be paddling our canoe in the same direction. If we focus on club excellence and member achievement, we can grow one of the strongest districts in the entire world of Toastmasters. And I think that's a really worthy and noble goal. So as I say, we're just going to focus on the first two. We leave the other two to the so-called higher ups in the organization, and let's just do what we can for our clubs. So let's look first of all at club excellence. Now, this is from the Toastmasters International website, and this is their mandate, is to support all clubs in providing a consistent quality member experience by delivering on our brand promise, which is to empower individuals through personal and professional development. So that's what Toastmasters wants us to do. But let's get deeper into this, and how can we, as members of clubs in this brand new district and leaders in this brand new district, make sure that we are operating with the highest quality of clubs possible. It's not that hard, you know, and I'm going to show you this evening some things that have been done. You know, Toastmasters is 99 years old. It's unbelievable that this beautiful organization has been able to stay in business and stay running and expanding globally from that YMCA basement in Santa Ana, California. I think it was Santa Ana, 99 years ago with Dr. Smedley, to being in 144 countries. I mean, I don't think Dr. Smedley ever saw this coming, but it's really incredible. And so I'm all in favor of new technology and AI and all of this. Well, okay, I'm learning AI. I'm not that in favor of it, but I have to learn it because I am a businesswoman. But you know, I'm just old school. And I think that what got us to 99 years is good enough to keep us going. So let's look at some of the basics, okay? First of all, these are the strategies that from the Toastmasters website. That clubs conduct enjoyable, effective meetings, that districts conduct effective club officer training, and I'm really big on revamping our officer training. We can do that within the district. We don't have to follow the script word by word. We can add to it, and I'm really going to suggest that we do that. And then again, World Headquarters, their business is to evolve Basecamp to better support members. And as you know, Basecamp is an ongoing, always evolving issue, but that's up to them. We just want to worry about these first 2 points again. So, and this member achievement is the second point. And Toastmasters International writes that member achievement means that they support members in achieving their personal and professional communication and leadership goals through experiential learning. Experiential learning. Those are two really key words. You know, many people say Toastmasters is a volunteer organization, and I disagree. Toastmasters International is a learning institute. We pay money and we sign up to take programs or to take positions, just like when you're in university. You pay money, you sign up for a particular program, whether in our case it's either leadership or it's communication, and then we have a responsibility to fulfill that mandate that we give ourselves, that we pay ourselves for. The thing is, it's the university without professors. If you ever get the chance to hear Lance Miller, a renowned Toastmaster, speak on how to build clubs and how to maintain clubs, he always says that Toastmasters is the university without professors, because we coach each other. We support each other. We are there for each other. It is peer learning and it is experiential learning. So remember that we learn on the job, just like when we're in university. We get together a team, the professor gives us an assignment and we learn in that process. It's experiential. Very, very important. So when people aren't doing as well as we want them to do, let's remember that. Let's remember that they are experiencing a learning opportunity, and we are there as peer professors, we could call ourselves, to help each other, to support each other. And the Toastmasters International strategies for member achievement are that clubs orient and conduct needs assessments for all new members, that clubs assign mentors to all new members. A lot of clubs do not do this. Districts include member achievement focus sessions in club officer training. And then, of course, world headquarters has its obligation to us as well. So why do they have this strategic plan? And why is it important to us? Because the purpose is to increase value to the member. If we're going to get people to come in and join our organization, we have to give them value. I mean, it's not the most expensive organization in the world, but still we must give them value. And for many people, it is. Many countries in the world, those dues are expensive to pay them in US dollars. We've got to make sure that we give value, that we are always expanding the organizational brand awareness. And in our little district right now, as we begin just out there brand new, we need to expand the awareness, the brand awareness of Toastmasters. That's why we have the leads and needs to streamline and enhance member experience. That's up to us to really help that and to promote member and club sustainability. So yes, from Toastmasters, I know the members at the top, so forgive me, but for this purpose, it comes from headquarters and the top all the way down. The strategic plan is not just for the people in the ivory tower, as we say. It's not just for the international directors and the executive committee. It's for all of us. So as I said, let's get in that boat together and make sure that we're paddling in the same direction. There's no point in doing this if we're not going to provide value and aim for excellence. So these are items, if you want to maintain and sustain club excellence, or a really healthy club, I want all of you to be able to tick off these items. Every club president and executive member needs to know the top 2 goals of the strategic plan. I'm not giving up on that. I have been, whenever I work with a club president, so a lot of times my clients become Toastmasters and then they become club executive officers. And so I always send them the strategic plan, because if they're on that executive committee, they need to know what's up and what direction we're going. I want to talk briefly in a few moments about practicing Toastmasters protocol. This is what makes us a strong club. And I told you I'm foundational. But the thing is about Toastmasters and why we practice protocol is because one of the things that never gets spoken about too much in Toastmasters is the value that takes us beyond the club. Toastmasters gives us transferable skills to our careers, even to the way we communicate in our communities and our families. These aren't skills that stay encapsulated within the Toastmasters club that we belong to. The value of being in an excellent club is that it ripples out into everything we do in life. This protocol, which I will talk to you about in just a moment, saved my life at a really important time, not literally saved my life, but saved my professional reputation, we can say. We need to induct new members, and I'm going to talk about that. The induction ceremonies are a thing of the past. I'll talk about it in depth in just a moment. Who remembers the Toastmasters promise? We talk at the beginning of every meeting about the mission. But what about the Toastmasters promise? We're going to take a look at that today. These things are still in place. They have not, just because we forget about them doesn't mean that they have disappeared. And this is a real bone of contention with me, is to give honest and appropriate evaluations. Myself and many people I know have quit clubs and have even quit Toastmasters because the evaluation was either so lame that they felt it was a waste of time, or it was so harsh that the member felt hurt and thought, I don't have time for this. Why would I waste my time being here when all I'm going to do is get trashed? These are just old school. But we can't forget about them, my friends, because this is what has taken us to 99 years, and we will hit the 100-year mark, and let's be strong when we get there. So, protocol. Many clubs do this, some clubs don't. but we got to greet guests warmly and have information available for them. You know, you can go online and get the new member welcome letter, welcome kit. There's lots of stuff in there. It's of no charge. Granted, it takes a long time, I know, to get things from Denver over here, but order them. And so when you have guests come or when they sign up, have something concrete or tangible. And if you're an online club or you're a hybrid club, as many clubs are, make these things accessible. Give the new member the links to these things so that they can access them and so that they can know more about what is going on in the Toastmasters Club as well as in the organization. This is something that's really important in terms of protocol. And this is one thing that makes an excellent club. And this is one of the most important skills that you take outside. Never leave the podium empty. Now, why does this have to do with club excellence? It's professionalism. And if you go on, as many Toastmasters can go on now to professional MCs, you have to know this. We learn this. We're in school in Toastmasters. Never leave that podium empty. Always somebody must be standing up on that stage and keeping the meeting in control. If the podium is empty, the audience doesn't know what to do. They don't know what's going on. Should I get up and go? Is it over? I don't know. Always keep somebody up there minding that podium. And I know sometimes with hybrid meetings, it's difficult because sometimes you've got the person who's face to face at the podium, and sometimes you have somebody online at the podium. So with the virtual podium, just always make sure that everybody in the audience knows what's going on. This is just professionalism. It doesn't really make your speech any better, but it makes your audience who comes go, wow, this is a real professional organization. Shake hands or fist pump or whatever you do when people come on the stage. Now, I know, you know, in the Islamic culture that we're living in, myself, when I MC and I have to introduce men, particularly from the Muslim world, I ask them in advance, do you shake hands? And if not, fine. I have worked with a colleague out of Bahrain. He does not shake hands. I kept forgetting because I'm a good Toastmaster. I kept putting my hand out and he's standing there looking, Patty, I don't shake hands. Make sure that you take care of that before, if it's a guest or somebody that you don't know. But shake hands, fist pump, do whatever, but let them know that they are recognized and they are welcomed. Always use the correct way of addressing the audience. You know, we start out, good evening, fellow Toastmasters. We mention the dignitaries, our club members, and then the guests. Now, when I said a couple of moments ago how this saved my professional career, somebody, when I was back in Vancouver, they knew I was a Toastmaster. And I was the president of the club at that time. And so I got asked, would I MC this big event? There were Chinese dignitaries, there were ambassadors. Oh my gosh, if I didn't know Toastmasters protocol, I would have made a fool of myself. And here in Dubai, when I MC, and there are ambassadors and there are dignitaries, there's an order. And there's a way in which we do this. And Toastmasters, this is a transferable skill that is so important because it's the way the world operates. These aren't things, remember, a good club equips your members with all the skills to go out into the world and succeed. To me, this is just so important that we remember this. And this is something too. Clap until the person gets on the stage. Now, listen, my first couple of Toastmasters clubs, I thought, oh my God, it's the geek club. They're clapping constantly. Clap, 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 clap. But, you know, we are selling confidence. And many of you who know me have heard me say this before. And this is a conversation that we have with presidents of the organization and directors of the organization. Are we selling leadership skills? Are we selling communication skills? Well, really, we're selling confidence. Clap. Just keep warming that person until they get on the stage because it gives them the juice. It gives them that feeling of, I can do this. I've got this. I got a whole team behind me. And that's what makes a club excellent, when we know that we've got people we can trust. Sometimes, you know, when you get a new member and you call them up there for Table topics. Oh, and they're shaking in their boots, their knees are knocking. And, you know, it's very comforting to them for you to say, it's okay. If you fall, we got your back. That's what we're here for, to build your confidence. It's right there in the club mission. Induction. Listen, this is something that nobody does anymore. I don't know why. Everybody wants to feel that they belong. In Toastmasters, people become members of a club. So formalize it. Every once 2 or 3 months, take time from a meeting for an induction ceremony. The scripts are available on the Toastmasters International website. Now, you can get the Toastmasters pins, but you don't have to. In Be Bold for Change, we want to induct our members, and we use a little busy bee because it's a women's club. And so we are talking about getting little tiny bees that we can pin on our new members when they become members. But these are old school things. I remember the day I was inducted into my very first club called Rise and Shine. In the 1990s, we met at 6:30 in the morning on Wednesday mornings. And I remember to this day the pride I felt when I was inducted and I was pinned. In those days, things were less expensive. Plus, being in Canada, you could get the pins rather quickly. Being on this side of the world, Toastmasters is a little bit slow sending stuff, but they don't have to be pinned. But find a way to officially induct them, make them feel like they belong. In the old days, we never talked about retention. People just wanted to stay because we did these things that made people feel happy and made them feel that they were welcome and that they were part of something. You know, I've been a coach almost 52 years now. And one thing I know for sure, people always want to feel like they're part of something bigger and better than themselves. Let's play on that. You know, Toastmasters is changing people's lives every day. Let's be part of that great movement. The Toastmasters promise. Now, I know we all say the Toastmasters mission, the club mission, but I'm going to challenge you, club presidents, to read this promise. Who makes the promise anymore? I remember the day I got inducted. We had the induction ceremony where we had to say, I do, or I will. It was like getting married to the organization. And then we were given, and it was laminated, a beautiful document with the Toastmasters promise on it, to attend meetings regularly, to prepare all of my projects to the best of my ability, basing them on the Toastmasters education program, to prepare for and fulfill meeting assignments, to provide fellow members with helpful, constructive evaluations, to help the club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for all members to learn and grow, to serve my club as an officer when called upon to do so. If we brought back the Toastmasters promise, when it comes time to find executive committee members, they would understand that they promised to do this. It's not a promise written in blood, but it's a matter of integrity, which is one of our prime core values. We promise to treat our fellow club members and our guests, sorry for the typo, with respect and courtesy, to bring guests to the club meeting so they can see the benefits Toastmasters membership offers, to adhere to the guidelines and rules for the Toastmasters education and recognition programs, and to act within Toastmasters core values of integrity, respect, service, and excellence during the conduct of all Toastmasters activities. So I'm going to suggest that perhaps, especially for club presidents, when you start out the meeting, 1 week maybe do the club mission, and perhaps the next week read this promise. It's so important, and I don't know where it's gone. I haven't been at a meeting in years when I've seen the Toastmasters promise or heard it. As I keep saying, we got to 99 years doing this. Let's go another 99 years. Evaluations. Now, this is something really important to me. As Dr. Smedley said, no Toastmasters club is fulfilling its obligation to its members unless it brings them the maximum of training in the art of constructive criticism. That's my underlining. you know, we lose a lot of members. You may not know this, but we lose a lot of members. I have left clubs, as I said earlier, because I just couldn't get an evaluation that I felt was helping me grow. Feedback is breakfast for champions. I know you've all heard that because I think I first heard that here when we were in District 105. So these are the points of a good evaluation, and we have to help the speaker identify and define their goals or areas for improvement. You know, I hope that your speakers, our speakers, are getting in touch with their evaluators before the meeting to say, this is my goal, this is what, please watch for this is what I'm working on, to go beyond what's on the evaluation sheet. It's really good to be encouraging that kind of rapport between speaker and evaluator. And to remember that feedback is not criticism, nor is it candy. I was at a meeting not long ago. I was a guest at a meeting, and the evaluation, I was actually angry because it was so sweet and saccharine. And the poor speaker was so nervous, and they were trembling, and they were sweating. And the evaluator said, and you were so confident. And this really bothered me because we have a mandate here. That evaluator missed a great opportunity to say, we know you were nervous and we know it was difficult, but you know what? Just keep on going because we're here for you. And we'll always pick you up and we'll always have your back. That is club excellence. But saying, I know you had your confidence. The woman, I've never seen her again. I mean, why would you pay money for that? Come on now. We're adults here. So I get passionate about this kind of stuff. Remember, your evaluation of a speaker is only your opinion, and it's not an edict. It's not the final word here. It's just what you think. I was at a meeting not long ago. We had a Be Bold for Change, had a joint meeting, and there was a young woman there that gave one of those beautiful evaluations where she asked the audience, and do you agree? And they did. And it was just one of those good old fashioned kind of evaluations. People sort of want to disrespect that sandwich technique. I don't know, it's good enough. I think it's good. I mean, I think that the new documents we have, fine, but we can be much more congenial and much more friendly and helpful, constructive in our feedback. Be fair and honest, because as I said, clubs lose members frequently because of poor or nasty evaluations. So club presidents and executive committees, if there's a member you haven't seen for a while, you might want to call them and find out if there's something that happened, because it's been my experience. They'll say, well, that last evaluation I got was so nasty, I just don't want to come back. We've got to think about this. This is club excellence. Let's look quickly at member achievement. VP of Eds keep close track of who is doing what and what needs to be done in order to reach the individual member specific goals. Are they following pathways? I'm shocked to find out how many members are paying their dues and they're not doing the pathways program. Well, it's Toastmasters. That's the educational program. So what are you doing? I mean, I agree that sometimes if you've got a big event coming up, you can come to the club and practice. I don't have any problem with that. But we really have to focus, and it's up to the VP Eds especially to make sure that we are following pathways. And pathways has a lot of people confused. So do an educational session so that they know what's going on. Keep people engaged. Ensure that all members are speaking from manual speeches. Now, this is a real big one with me. Celebrate member achievement awards, like ribbons. You know, I belong to a couple of clubs. Okay, so it was before we were doing stuff on Zoom. And it sort of was a little bit like grade 4, but we had a big poster board and everybody's name. And as they achieved, we put up a star, a gold star or whatever star. And then it was hung up at every meeting. And everybody could go up and say, oh, Linda, you finished 5 paths, Shamala. And it was a way of support, way to go, congratulations. And it was a little bit like juvenile, but you know, we're just human beings. And I don't think we ever outgrow recognition and wanting to be recognized. Celebrate and meet outside the club periodically to celebrate members' achievements. We're building community. You know, I always say this to people. Wherever I go in the world, because I'm a bit of a nomad, I never seem to stay in one country all that long, even Canada. When I go to a new country, I always go to Toastmasters. You know why? I find my tribe. I find people who are into self-improvement, professional development, people who are into speaking for a living, delivering their message, and I feel at home. So be mindful when you're doing this, whether it's whatever, of always we have to follow the Toastmasters brand. But who remembers these? Now, I know clubs have trophies, and we hold the trophy, get the photo op, and then we give the trophy back. But these are not that expensive. I love these. And they make great bookmarks, by the way. And so you're reading a book and you go, oh yeah, best evaluator. These are not much to invest in. You know, Muhammad Murad talks about this all the time, because we are selling confidence. And so when we recognize people, we help them with their confidence. Always, all of us who are leaders, we must lead by following the 4 core values of integrity, respect, service, and excellence. And I think every club member, this is something else that could be brought up when we're doing the introduction, the president's message to the club. We can talk about these 4 core values. You know, we're all members of a global organization, and I think that we all need to know what are the goals and the mandates of this organization. So be the club mission, be it. Don't just talk about it. Walk that talk. Lead by example. All of us need to lead by example all the time. Set a realistic club success plan. I'm somebody that not that crazy about getting points. I'm more of a quality person. Let's get quality, and then we can get all those points. Support an atmosphere of accountability. Hold people to the standards of this organization. Don't sweep things under the club. If somebody's inappropriate, hold them to an atmosphere of accountability. Keep your focus on club excellence and member achievements, and celebrate all achievements, the clubs and the members. Have educational sessions, bring in guest speakers, and perhaps most of all, have fun. Before I leave us all this evening, I want to remind you that in the time that we have been on this call, people in 144 countries, people all around the world, there are people who have stood up and given their first icebreaker. There are people who have found the courage to be the chair or the Toastmaster of the day. We are changing people's lives every day. Let's embrace that. Let's make the best clubs that we can. Let's help to change people's lives. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Patty, for that fascinating and excellent session. And I'm happy that we had the privilege to have a knowledge sharing with you today. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you
from the
very
bottom of
much.
my heart.
I'm just a regular Toastmasters person, you know, that's all. I'm just regular. Thank you.
You gave us so many tips, so many ungoogleable tips, I should say.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Patty. And now, where are we? New club leads and needs been discussed, chartering process and plan to excel to being heard. But a lot of us have unanswered questions still steaming inside. To answer those queries, we have a question and answer session led by someone special. She's a dynamic Toastmaster who believes that leadership is unlocking people's potentials to become better. And she's a question and answer session moderator for this evening. She's an industrial psychologist who is working as a senior talent sourcing executive. She has been a Toastmaster since 2019 and has taken on multiple leadership roles from club to district level. Currently, she's the Arabian Dreams president and a part of CG quality team. She's been my close associate in running Division I as my assistant division director. And I find it cute that she's a cat person. Garfield or Tom, she has a way with cats. To love and be loved by a puppy is easy, but with kitten, it's wild. Please give a big round of applause for the rootiness, tootiness, sharp shootiness, Toastmaster of District 127, DTM Lorraine. Over to
Thank
you,
you
DTM.
so much, Dr. Muniba. Oh my God, that introduction was out of this world. I would like to thank the audience for your lovely comments and for answering my first 3 questions. It's now time to get your unanswered questions answered. So anyone in the audience, would you like to unmute and ask the question, or would you like to type it in the chat box? Either way, you can address the question to our panel and it will definitely be answered. No, I can't switch on my video because when I switch on my video, it hangs. So sorry for that. So any questions that I can take? Audience? Would anyone like to unmute and ask, or would anyone want to type it in the chat box?
Can I?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Hi. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Regina speaking here. Yes, I would like just the presentation that this Toastmaster Patty has made is really our club has forgot about some protocols, and I think it's very nice to have that kind of special refreshing educational session to each club. Will it be possible to request to have it done in each club, especially those clubs that we are trying to revive? I mean, special request to our, this is a request only if it's possible.
Can I take that question, please?
Yes, please, Dr. Siddharth.
Heg, it all depends. Thank you very much for that question. Very nice question. It shows that you are thirsty to revive your club. We have a retention team who will be guiding you with this, and it depends on what education session you're actually looking for. If it is a program quality related education session, that will be managed by the program quality team. But if it is a club quality related education session, it will be managed by the club growth team. So we'll get in touch and we'll discuss about that and we'll guide you accordingly. Is that fine?
Sure. I'm sorry, I am driving at the moment as well.
That's fine.
Yes,
I'll get in touch with you.
it.
We'll discuss on that further.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. We have another question. Who is the first point of contact in Division 127 to start a club? I repeat, who is the first point of contact in Division 127 to start a club? District 127 to start the club. Dr. Sattar, I think you would like to take this.
The best person to contact is Dr. Muniba. She is the club extension team and the assistant club growth director. She will guide you accordingly. And if she needs further assistance from any of the team members from the club growth team, she will definitely get in touch. And if you need a demo meeting, we'll arrange that too. And if you need assistance in filling, Pragna is always there. And once you form the club, if you want more quality, Paddy will be jumping in and giving you the required instructions, whatever you want. Thank you for that question.
Thank you so much, Dr. Star. I have another question for Toastmaster Paddy. You talked about induction. How often would you recommend? What if we're getting a new member every month? Is it advisable to do an induction for one member, or collect a number of members and say do an induction once in 6 months?
I guess that depends on how often you're getting new members. I mean, if you're not getting new members, maybe one every couple of months, then you might want to do it as they come in. Some clubs bring in new members quite regularly, so I think they could do it once I don't know, you don't want to do it too often because it does take time. So it would depend. If it's not that common for you to get new members, then, do it with one. But if it's common, if you're in a club that's bringing in a fair number of new members, then wait a little bit and make it an induction ceremony. The script and everything is all online and it's very easy to do, but it can be a little time consuming. So if you can do several at one time, that's best.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That does answer my question. Any other questions from the audience? I don't see any questions in the chat box. Anyone wants to unmute and ask our panel some questions? Any unanswered questions?
Perfect.
Well, I
Sounds like
guess
sounds like everything is very clear. That's so nice.
exactly. So we'll have plenty more clubs, I think, this year. Everyone seems to know the process.
Zainab has a question, don't it?
Okay. Can you unmute?
Yes, yes. Hello,
Yeah.
hi, good evening. Sorry, I just had a last question. I wanted to thank you for this wonderful session. I learned a lot. I have a question for Patty. Patty, you mentioned for VPEs to arrange for training, especially like evaluation session and whatnot. How can we go about finding a trainer? Like, is there do you have a list of trainers with certain specialty, like where they are like they specialize in terms of pathways, in terms of evaluation? How would we go about that? Or do we have to go and find it ourselves?
Thank you, Zainab. No, I think, I'm looking over here on my WhatsApp. There's many WhatsApp groups now. So I think even the Toastmasters UAE or in any of those, if there's a certain club, if there's somebody that but just using WhatsApp, I think can really help you and be very clear though on what you're asking for. And because, people, if you really want to get excellent training, you need to be really clear on exactly what the training is. And I want to encourage, so I think that you can go on any of those WhatsApp pages and ask, and particularly, of course, I don't have it right in front of me. Where is it? The Toastmasters UAE. That would be a good one. I also want to encourage you to go a bit out of the box and have not just always the same old run of the mill. I mean, we do need pathways. I think we need regular pathways education sessions for new members, especially, but go out of the box and really do your best to get guest speakers maybe can come in and how to craft a speech, get members from other clubs to, outside of our region, just be really creative and find people and talk to them and make sure that you feel comfortable that they're going to deliver a good session, because many educational sessions are so boring that nobody gets anything out of them. So encourage people who will go, or find people who will go outside a little bit of the script. We are allowed to go outside of the script. We can't write our own script, but we can go a little bit outside of the box. So that's what I would do. And you can contact me, I'll help you.
Can I add a point to that, Paddy?
Of course.
Yeah, Zainab, the the point is, if you can find one, you can find yourself by using all these groups like Paddy suggested. If you can't do that, you can always get in touch with the area director, division director, and if you don't get any help from, definitely they will help you, because we have very good area directors and division directors. In case you don't get any trainers, depending on what training you're looking for. If you're looking for the quality of the club, then you can get in touch with us. Even if you get in touch with the PQ trainings, we'll direct you to the right person. Don't worry about that, Zainab. Please get in touch, whatever you need for to make your club a better club.
Okay, sure. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Zainab. Any other questions that we may address? Timer, do we have time?
Your time is up.
Right. So since there are no more questions, I thank you all for being such a participative audience, and thank you everyone for answering my questions on chat and for putting in your comments. I will now hand this over to Dr. DTM, Dr. Muniba, to take this spot and close the meeting. Over to you, Doctor.
Thank you, DTM Lorraine, for moderating that rational discussion. Now we have come to the end of our workshop. So let's give a quick hand for the brave souls who were here to educate us. I hope you're all charged up, keep up the enthusiasm and empower it with knowledge so that you can become an expert. Enthusiasm alone is a poor substitute for expertise. And now for the closing, I would like to invite our club growth director. He's a genius. He's brilliant. Usually these synonyms are for difficult and eccentric. But at the end of the day, everyone adores this person. With a huge round of applause, I would like to invite our pocket rocket, the dashing and daring DTM Dr. Abdul Sattar onto the screen for the closing address.
Thank you very much, Dr. Muniba, for this wonderful introduction. And as you know, Dr. Muniba is known for thundering and lightning introductions of everyone. And she makes everyone blush. And you know what? She enjoys it. Thank you very much to each and everyone who attended the meeting today. Can I request everyone to put on their camera so that we can take a picture and post it everywhere so that it looks nice, all of us together. Thank you for all the questions. Thank you for the training that let me take a picture. Wenzel, can you please take a picture?
Sure.
I have to first of all thank the Surgeon at Arms for today, Toastmaster Shamla. She started the whole meeting. It was crackling and sweet opening, and then it went on to taking over by Dr. Muniba, the MC for today. She, as I told you, thunders and lightning was all over. Then we had the skit that was designed by the Toastmaster Hadi and Toastmaster Banasri. We had a lot of practicing sessions to do that because we didn't want to mess it up. Hope we didn't. And thank you very much to Pragnia for the simplifying the difficult part of documentation in starting a new club. And as you know, Paddy always talks, and she talks big things, and people take away all the things that she talked. There's nothing, no point is left away from what she told us today. And I have to thank also the Zoom master, the Zoom master pair, I should say, Wenzel and Benisha, who is always in front and back in everywhere to help us and support us. And each and everyone who attended the meeting today. And if I have left anyone, for them to do DTM Lorraine, I left her. I'm so sorry for that. DTM Lorraine, she was assisting me from the back in the chat box. And not just in the chat box, she was also hosting the question answer session. That was the end of the meeting. Thank you very much for that too. Thanks to each and everyone. Hope you have learned something. All of us have learned something today. And with this, let me close this meeting. Thank you and good night. You can still ask
Thank you very
questions.
much.